Hey, good morning, good afternoon, whenever this reaches you. God bless you guys, and I hope you're having an amazing day today. This is the Get Up and Get It podcast, motivational content, real, raw, inspirational from a Christian perspective. And I hope today edifies you. I hope it uplifts you, but I hope also that it challenges you and challenges what you believe. And today in episode 11, what we're going to be talking about is the secret in the sauce, the recipe for success. Is there a blueprint? Are some people just born lucky? Some people are just born to be desolate and broke and complainers. Or can we all be successful in life? And what really is the measure for success in this life? Let's get into it. Hey, once again, God bless you guys. Welcome to the podcast. Is there a blueprint for success? Are some of us just destined to be failures and others destined to be great? Or is this actually a product of our choices and our decisions? I think success looks different to different people, but I also think for a lot of people, especially in our nation, we've allowed the culture, no matter what culture it is, or the naturalistic mindset to determine to us what success is. And I think sometimes when we get to that place where people said, you have to get here or you'll never be successful, we get there and we realize, like Solomon says, it's vain, it's vanity, it's a chasing, a grasping of the wind. You thought that this was going to fulfill the longing in your heart or that empty space that you've had where you've always felt broken, and then you realize it didn't. It's that story from Deion Sanders. He said he was sitting in his hotel after winning the Super Bowl. He said, this is what I've been fighting my whole life for. I got here and I still feel empty. And I think sometimes we think success is just financial stability or wealth. You know, if we have wealth, then we'll be happy. And I'm just reminded of a story of a guy that I came up with, one of my homeboys. He was having a conversation with my brother. He goes and he picks up a lot of the bodies around the city that we were raised in Kalamazoo. And he works for the cemetery guys. I forget the name of them. But he said he pulls up to this mansion, man, and this guy had everything that a man could want. I mean, he had all the old cars and just beautiful house and anything that you could want, this guy had. And they had to scoop him up off of the garage floor because he blew his head off. See, material things and finances won't solve the issue of our heart. But if that's what we think being successful and true success is, then we'll dedicate ourselves to that pursuit, even though it's a vain pursuit that will never satisfy and make us whole. I've counseled with so many people, man. What you would consider maybe the low man on the totem pole, like how we came up, like we didn't really have much, you know what I'm saying? But some of those people that I've counseled who didn't really have much, they were the best parents that you ever met in your life. They loved their kids. They couldn't provide all of the things that their kids ever desired, but they had everything they needed. But then I've also counseled with people on the opposite side who live in the suburbs and have beautiful houses and all the nice cars and have a successful business, but they're in moral decline. They have a horrible marriage, a horrible relationship, and their children have a horrible relationship with them. See, just because we're financially secure doesn't mean we're successful. And I know that's a hard thing for some of us to actually realize. In my personal opinion, when I think of success, I think of wholeness. And this is what the Lord can accomplish in our life. Mark chapter 8, verse 36 through 38 says this. Jesus says, "For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? For what can a man give in return for his soul?" I want you to think about that. You know, we won't be here forever. We're here for a moment in time. I think we should do great things with our life. And I honestly believe that we should do things with excellence. But I don't think we should have to forfeit our character, our value. We shouldn't have to forfeit our integrity or forfeit our soul or our relationship with God in order for us to do something great in the world's eyes. True success is wholeness, where I can feel good about me today, even if I don't have, thousands upon thousands or millions of dollars in my bank account. That I can feel whole and well enough not only to love my family, but to serve others. What does success look like to you? Because if you have a tainted version of what success is, you'll have a tainted pursuit. There's people today who are very, very successful at what they do. But what they do is they sex traffic children. And they make millions of dollars a year, and they have the mansion and everything you ever dreamed of having. And guess what? They don't care about hurting other people in order for them to have it. There are people who are very successful at selling drugs and murdering people, and they have millions of dollars, and they have everything that the culture tells us. Pursue these things, give yourself to this pursuit, follow this blueprint, and you can be successful. And that's not true success. what they're doing is they're paving the way to hell and eternal torment with what they're doing right now. I want you to hear me right now. God has a purpose and a plan for our life. And if we don't realize that true success is found in what the Lord has for us, we'll always go after what people think, what the culture dictates, or what people celebrate in order for us to be successful. Because we'll be living by what the world says is success. But it's not true success. Jesus says, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his whole soul? But listen, I truly believe that we can all be successful. I don't think Jill over here was born for success and Jim over here was born for failure. I think we're a product of our decisions. A lot of us, we like to equate it back to when we were younger and we weren't responsible for anything. Well, I'm a product of my environment. Well, that was then. You're not anymore. Now you're a product of your decisions. You have to hold yourself accountable. But things don't happen by random occurrence. And in order for you to be successful, don't you want to be whole? Don't you want to be successful all the way around? I don't want to be a failure as a father, but be a great businessman. I don't think that that's true success. I don't want to have a failing marriage, but be a great businessman. I don't think that that's true success. I think true success is being successful all the way around. But you have to have virtues that actually carry you, that are actually biblical. Things that God gives to us, wisdom. We have to have our character intact. We have to have integrity, intentionality. Like I said, it doesn't happen by random occurrence. We have to have a vision in our life, hope for the future, discipline in our life. We have to actually have a work ethic. We can't just sit around with no character, no integrity, no intentionality, and just think that we're going to be successful. It does not work like that. That's one of the biggest delusions of the modern day culture, that we can sit around and live off of everybody else and expect great things to happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen like that. Proverbs 16:3 says this: commit your work to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. Where do you start? Committing your work to the Lord. What is that? That's a decision. You have to say, God, I trust you with this. I want to do this for the kingdom. Lord, as I begin to build my business, I ask that you direct my thoughts, because I want to use this to help kids over in Africa get water. I want to use this for missionaries going to South Korea. I want to use this for this. I want to not just think about me. I want to use my platform or what I'm doing to actually reach people for you. And I want to stamp your name on this business. I want to give you my plan, God, and I'm gonna have an expectancy for you to guide me into true success. I've seen this even with people in ministry. Like, I remember my cousin saying, you know, what would it look like if we go overseas and we're saving thousands of children, but we lose our own in the process? And you know how many people have dedicated themselves to that pursuit? I don't think that that's true success. We want true success all the way around. We want to be healthy husbands, healthy fathers, right? Healthy businessmen, healthy in ministry, healthy in whatever avenue and realm that it is. And that comes with intentionality, because you have to find a balance between life and business. You have to find a balance between your desires and your responsibilities. Like, you have to be a healthy individual in order to have a healthy lifestyle. Success is not just found in our bank account. It's not just found in the material things that, guess what, we can't take with us. It's like that old saying, you don't ever see a U-Haul following the hearse, right? Everything that we have here will eventually be left to somebody else. They're just things, man. They don't matter as much as our relationships. True wealth is always found in our relationships. That's what wealthy people do. They build relationships. They build with ideas. It's poor people who are trying to always show off how much they got. I remember this I think it was a Christian rapper, Andy Mineo. He was like, I met this billionaire. He said, and this dude was wearing the ugliest dad shoes I ever seen in my life. Why? Because he doesn't care. He's not trying to impress anybody. He's not trying to buy the best J's. It's broke people who do that. Not that if you're rich, you can't, wear Jordans or whatever. I'm just saying it's the people who don't have much always want to look like they have something. And the people who have it don't have to show off to anybody. They don't really care. They just dress for comfort. They don't really care about the luxurious stuff. They don't really care about the overpriced stuff. It doesn't even really matter. They're looking to create generational wealth. When I think about being successful, that's what I think about. I think about generational wealth. Something that I could set my family on a course for success through generations. Not just by, what we leave behind or what we build while we're here, but also what we instill into them. There's this meme on Facebook that I seen, and the guy was saying, what you teach your son is what you're also teaching your grandchild. And that's what I want to live with, that intentionality. I want to live with that in the forefront of my mind, to remember that the way I'm treating my family today is I'm teaching them how to treat their family. The way I'm loving my children today, I'm teaching them how to love my grandchildren that are coming in the future. Or what I'm modeling today as a husband, or if you're in business, what you're modeling is you do square business, and you're straight up with everybody, and you ain't trying to get over or use people. And you teach them how to be a person of value and character, and not compromised and not wavering, because you have a solid foundation to stand on. That foundation is Jesus, man. It always has been. It always will be. The blueprint for true success is the blueprint that finds us whole instead of broken. And that's a life in the Lord. That's why the blueprint is the Bible. David says it's a lamp into our feet. He writes in the Psalms, a light into our path. It means that any form of darkness we don't have to trip over or stumble over anymore, because we have the word of life that produces life in us and life through us. That's the word of God, man. We all get caught up sometimes in busy seasons, and we're doing good. And sometimes we feel like we're not really reaching that level of success that we want to get to. And I just want to tell you to be persistent and be diligent and continue to persevere, because that perseverance will really build your character in a season where you feel like you're not really winning, but you're doing your best to move forward to be successful. Galatians 6:9 says this, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." And that's what I want to tell you today. No matter what you're building, no matter what you're doing, man, don't give up. If you know that God has put this on your heart, and you know that it might look bleak right now, it might look impossible, but the Bible says that God can open doors that no man can shut, and he can close doors that no man can open. And God can do that on your behalf. And he can move things that other people can't move. He can make a way where there is no way. Jim Rohn has this quote, and this is the intentionality. I wanted to make sure that I said this. That's why I just brought it up. Is because when we have perseverance doesn't just come because we want it to come. It comes because we have a daily pursuit and a plan. When you put that plan in order and you have those disciplines that even if you're not winning right now, you know that eventually, like Galatians 6:9 says, you're going to win. You're going to reap the reward of your perseverance and your hard work in this season. You'll keep moving and you'll keep moving, but you can't do it without actually planning things out. It's not going to happen by accident. Jim Rohn says this. He says, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Not much at all. That happens so often. God has put something on your heart for you to build. It's a dream that's been on your mind or your heart for your whole life, but you're busy building products for another business because you won't dare to venture out and to believe the Lord and move forward. Listen, what is true success, man? What is it to you? Are you just going after money, but you're being left empty? Are you neglecting your family, putting your business over your family? Are you neglecting your relationship with God in order for you to chase finances? Is that what you consider to be successful? The world and the culture's version of true success? We have people who make songs about glorifying murder, get paid millions of dollars, and because of that music and that influence, people get murdered. And we think that's successful. These are the things that we celebrate. No, man, true success is not just knowing God, but what is produced from knowing him. Love, peace, patience, kindness, joy. The things that we can serve others with, where we can feel whole. We don't have to be celebrated in order for us to feel valuable. In order for us to feel good about ourselves, we don't have to have everybody applauding for us or patting us on the back or telling us we're great in order for us to know that God created us to be great. And even if I'm not great to anybody else, but I'm great in the eyes of the Lord and I'm great to my family, I think I accomplished my mission on earth. I did what God has purposed me to do, and I took care of the people I was responsible for. I did my best to lead people to Jesus. To me, if you ask me, it's true success. Even if I never acquire millions upon millions of dollars, I feel better now than I've ever felt. I have a great relationship with my wife. I have a great relationship with my kids. I have a great relationship with our church, my church family. I have a great relationship with God above everything else. And I'm growing in all of these areas. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I know what true success in life feels like. It feels just like this season I'm in right now. It feels like peace, abundant peace, and purpose. There's so many people absent of this, man. And here's what I want to tell you. Jesus will give it to you. Follow the Lord. He has way more for you than this world could ever offer us. But we have to come to the conclusion that success isn't what they sold us on. Success isn't popping bottles and partying with strippers. Success isn't driving fast cars and having mansions with rooms nobody ever visits or sleeps in, and we're alone because we screwed everybody over on our way to the top. That's not success. Success isn't out here touring the world and neglecting our kids, seeing great things and have people celebrate us, but we couldn't even be a dad to our kid because we were too busy celebrating ourselves. That's not success, man. It's not success. What is true success in life? It's actually having life in your life. Not feeling depraved and broken, desperate and depressed, even though you have money in the bank. There's one of my favorite quotes from Abraham Lincoln was this. He says, in the end, it's not about the years in your life, but the life in your years. There's a guy in the Bible, who was it, Methuselah? Is that his name? Yeah, I believe that's his name. He lived to be like 900 something years old. That's all we know about him that's recorded. Jesus lived 33 years, and nobody on planet Earth can forget his name. Success is not measured by the number of years that you live, but the life that's in your years. Are you really living today? Are you living the life that God has called you to, that he's purposed for you? Do you know what really living is? Do you know what it means to wake up and empty yourself for the sake of others and really experience the joy of the Lord? Listen, we're all called to this. We're all purposed for this. It might look and manifest in different ways in our life. Some people might, walk out their purpose as an auto mechanic. Other people might walk out their purpose even being a laundromat attendant. But bringing joy to people and telling people about the Lord and serving people and helping people with whatever business that they have. True success, man. We could have everything in the world and lose our soul. How could we ever consider that to be true success? What's the blueprint for success? Let me give it to you. You ready? Peace with God. Peace and favor with God. And peace and favor with men. Biblical outline for success. Love God with everything that you are. Love your neighbor as yourself. In that, you'll make sure you never violate anybody. You uplift everybody you encounter. And you'll spend forever in the place you were meant to with our Heavenly Father. True success doesn't stop in this life. True success takes us in the one waiting after this. God bless you guys. Hope you have a great day.